like any other, they are inconvenient. The updates are inconvenient.
Yeah. And all they do is hear complaints from people all day and fix problems. So,
Well, the good news
but
is for this weekend, nothing really important to talk about actually happened, right? So nothing
yeah,
worth
Talk
talking
amongst
about.
friends.
boring
The
show.
Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
And we've got them, the guys at the end of the bench, John and Dan. As much as I think it was 2 weeks ago, we just loved the Monday because everybody had won something. This is like the anti-Monday, right? This is everything we don't want to talk about for sports today, but we've got to do it. John and Dan, thanks for being here. We'll start at the top. Not even with your Twins hat. Don't give me that, John. I can't. Okay. You tell me, and you guys do plays. You guys do plays, right? You guys have been in theater. Have you ever been booed? I mean, to the point that it sucks so bad they booed. Minnesota, if you don't get a standing ovation almost at the end of a play, you've pretty much been verbally booed, right? I mean, you just don't boo in Minnesota.
Right. That's
Minnesotans booed at an 18, 19-year-old, whatever he is, 23-year-old kid yesterday.
Well, they should have, but it wasn't
They
his
should
fault.
be.
Well, we'll discuss. But the Boo Birds were out, and you have to suck so bad to get the Boo Birds out in Minnesota for football. You have to be Twins-like. Sorry, your hat. You got to be Twins-like, don't you?
Yeah, I think I know. I do think we hold higher standards for the Vikings, and maybe rightfully so because we got spoiled. Now, granted, the first decade was not nothing special, but considering where they were, now you got to remember though, 50 years ago is the Purple People Eaters and Fran Tarkenton and all that. So it's like, come on, guys, this is not we're not the same franchise anymore. But we still have those expectations, I think.
John, bust it
Yeah.
down for me. What lost that game for us? Offense, defense, special teams. I guess we can really throw some blame around.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was another one of those that could have been a miraculous fourth quarter, like that game back he had at the start of the year, and really should have been. They gave up that big run, and I was like, there was less than a minute to go. What was there, like
50 seconds or 50 seconds ago, and we kicked it off.
I thought all you got to do is take that guy down, and they'll try a couple of desperation plays, and time runs out.
Is that not a place where you kick it out of the end zone? Just let them start at the 35. They still got to get 30, 40 yards. He runs that thing back. Guess what? They had to make 5 yards, and they did. They kicked the field goal.
Yeah, and special teams has been plaguing us all season, right? So I hate to single out. I mean, there were a lot of failures in this game, all right? Offense, tackling, defense, the interceptions. But the fact remains they could have won it, and it was special teams that sort of coughed it up at the end. That's their job. Hold this game. You've got less than a minute, and you would have eked out a win against a division opponent.
Dan, tell me who you thought screwed this game up.
Kevin O'Connell.
I don't know that I don't disagree. Your reasoning.
I think first off, I think he is still designing his offense around an experienced quarterback. And not that J.J. McCarthy isn't good. I mean, I think he will be eventually. But he's just not that guy yet. He's just not the guy to be. And their running game has been so good, and they're just practically ignoring it. So, and then I'm going to put, special teams to me is still a coaching thing. That's I mean, you got to have the players, but come on, you got to have guys who can tackle and play special teams.
Special teams coach really ripped 3 guys on the left side there. They said, we talked about it all week. You stay in your lanes, don't go anywhere. He's always going to take it from the right side all the way around to the left. He busted that thing down in the paper today and said, our guys didn't stay home. It's on them. Here's the one that I get you. Going in at the half, and I think, who's the guy doing the play-by-play? Brady. He's talking about it. You're within field goal range. Now you can start thinking touchdown, but you've got 3 locked. And then you throw up that pass, that second interception. And here's my thought on it. I get it. The guy he leaped out of the gym to get it. But can't our guy, once you can't catch it, make sure no one else can? You know what I'm saying? Bounce it out of there. Got to do something. You give up those 3 points is my point. You had 3, went for it all, and all of a sudden now if you put those 3 points back on, guess what? We're winning this ball game. So I think there are some thought processes that were wrong in this game. But hanging it all on J.J. McCarthy, other than those first two really bad passes, Addison dropped two, Jefferson dropped one, Thielen dropped one, and so did Hawkinson. They all right in the bread. There was a lot of problems in this game, but I don't just hang it on that kid's head.
I mean, let's not sure. He was bad. He was bad yesterday.
He wasn't good. But if those 4 catches were made, this game would also have a different feel to it. John, your thoughts on McCarthy?
Yeah, I still am in McCarthy's camp. A lot of people forget that Brett Favre was an interception machine when he started it. Yeah. You could count on him to throw 1 or 2 in every game. But look what he did. And I think McCarthy's just going through growing pains. And as Dan said, they're probably still trying to design the offense around him. But you those guys got to make the plays, right? And it you hate to see a coach start pointing fingers at players. That's not good. Yeah. Although to his point, if they could have stopped that, it could have changed the game. And that point you made on the interception, that guy with that leaping catch, I mean, that's a mentality thing when you're on offense. You've got to be able to switch to be in defense if the situation calls for it. And when that's happening, something's got to click in your head and go, oh, crap, I got to defend this ball. I better do my best to make sure the other guy doesn't get it.
On some positive notes, there were no sacks yesterday. Right, I mean, the offensive line for the most part held up. Some of the
penalties weren't too bad either. I don't think
there were 2, and one was a motion. So in some ways they cleaned that up. The problem is, and this is just be truthful, folks, and I'm tired. I don't want to be that guy. I don't know that I see a way for the Vikings now to make it into the playoffs, to do anything. I'm sorry, we're just too far down. You're shaking your head, John. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, you're right on. And frankly, I wouldn't want them to make the playoffs because they would just get bounced out so bad, and it would be an embarrassment. So let's chalk this up to a growing year. All right. I know it's not what fans want to hear. They want to see a winner now, but that's a lot to put on the shoulders of a young guy. He's still learning, and I'm still in his camp. I think he's going to be great.
But, Dan, you saw what happened yesterday. Detroit ends up losing. Green Bay barely won. I mean, they just about lost it. But anyway, if we had won, literally everybody would be within 1 game, just like we called it, and we'd had won everybody we played in our division. The difference was 50 seconds between me saying we're in charge of our destiny, and now I don't see a path. Your thoughts, Dan? I mean, it's a math problem.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a math problem. I mean, the good news is they do have most of the remaining 7. How many are in the division here now? It's
well, we got the Green Bay tomorrow, and we must have Lions and a Packers.
Yeah, so it's like 2 Green Bay and the Packers, so at least 3. Now we're done with the Bears. Oh, thank God to get those Bears on me. But no, I don't see a path. I don't see a path. But at the same time, the rest of the Lions are not the Lions, the amazing, unbeatable Lions that we thought they were going to be this year. They're a good but not great team. They could still do a playoff run. So all this to say that, that feels like the Vikings played well. They could still have a shot, but I just don't see it happening.
To get to 10, John, they have to win 6 of the last 7. That's when you do these little things where you muck up those games you should have. It puts you 6 of 7, 3 of those in the division, and then we're talking something. This team would be on a roll. But what do you see that says that?
I don't, but I will say they've won games they should have lost, and they lost games they should have won. So, anything can happen in these last few games, but I don't think they make enough to do it. Although, wasn't there a team last year that won their division? I forget who it was, with a 500 record because the whole division was.
Well, yeah, but the problem is this division isn't that division. We're talking some of the best football in the league. I got to go to break. We got other teams to rip on here in Minnesota. Anybody hear about those Gophers? Anybody hear about the Wolves? We'll talk about them coming up next. It's John and Dan, the guys at the end of the bench.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist. You need a partner. At Momentum Advocacy, we bring nearly 90 years of combined experience in government relations, public affairs, and strategic communications. From nonprofits to national corporations, we help organizations navigate Minnesota's political landscape with integrity, insight, and results. Whether you need legislative champions or headlines, Momentum Advocacy delivers. For more, visit momentum-advocacy.com. Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol.
This season, bring the whole family to see Irving Berlin's White Christmas. This smash hit musical based on the classic film returns by popular demand to delight you at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. With loads of laughter and a stunning showcase of Irving Berlin songs, White Christmas is a celebration of the romance, friendship, and magic of the holidays. Make your plans today to see White Christmas. Visit chanhassendt.com.
As in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
And we've got them, John and Dan, the guys at the end of the bench. Let's talk some Timberwolves real quick. I actually went out of my way to make sure that I was watching what was going on with that last Sacramento game. I think you got to play them as they come, but the Timberwolves got to play Utah, Sacramento. These are bottom feeder teams. And they did what they had to do. They beat them every time. I can give them credit there. But on watching Friday night's game, Sacramento was in that game with about 4 minutes to play. They gave us everything we could want. So that made me want to watch the Saturday game against Denver. And people, Jokic is for real. That guy is unflipping believable. This game was a good game. Probably the best basketball game I've seen in a while. Back and forth. We were in it the whole way. They pulled away at the end, so I'm not ripping my squad over it. But this got to be a bit of a come to Jesus meeting here. Guys, we have to step up. We can beat bad teams, which I think you said Friday, John, you gotta. But when good teams show up, there's another level, and we didn't reach it. Your thoughts, John, on your Wolves?
It was a good game, but it wasn't good enough. And they got to figure out how to beat the good teams and play with the good teams. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. You can beat up on the bad teams all you want. That's great. Thank you for noting I said that. So they accomplished that mission, right? But you can't beat the great teams all the time. Okay, and Denver is very, very good. Yep. Always a good battle between them. But it should have been closer. They should have held on in that fourth quarter. They got to bring their defense in, which they know how to do. The talent is there. Yep. This is a good squad. So they got to figure that out soon, because right now their record against good teams is what, 0-5? Not a good way to start.
Yeah, that's about it. Your thoughts on your Timberwolves, Stan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as concerned. I mean, I hear you trying to tamper down the disappointment, but it's still, I'm not too concerned yet. I think the next rounds of the Cup are going to tell us a lot now. The next couple of games.
Where are we? Oh, by the way, we're leading the Cup standings in our division, but we haven't played OKC yet. And I guess that's kind of where I'm at. OKC has 3 or 4 of their starters not playing, and they're still running over everybody. That is a real team, and it starts in their defense. I love watching OKC, to be quite frank.
Yeah, no, it's like, so I'm not too concerned yet, but I guess I'm still, I still am wondering about where the leadership is on the court.
Yep.
Who is the glue that's holding it all together? Because that's what I guess I'm still not quite seeing. It still comes off to me as a bunch of really good individual players led by a superstar, but I don't see the glue. I'm not seeing the glue at this point because they're better than the 6th best team in the conference.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I thought it was interesting. Utah, of course, just they're our team that we love to battle. Technical fouls from the coach. They're getting into fights. It was a highly entertaining basketball game. I enjoyed it immensely. Denver. Switch topics, and this will not make John happy at all. Not that I think we knew that the Gophers would fall to number 6 Oregon. I don't think that was a shocker. But there was nothing. They ran us over. They steamrolled us 13. I think one was on some weird thing they did where they passed the ball backwards, then it did a hook and ladder, and it didn't connect, and that's how we got 7. This game, holy smokes, Oregon is good. Dan?
Yeah, Oregon is good, and while the Gophers have a solid defense from against most of the country, against this still tells me they're not a defense that can hang with the top 10, top 20 teams. They're a good defense. They are good, but that's still very much a good defense for a middle of the pack team.
See, middle of the pack. John, tell me, there is such a separation from middle of the pack. How many hundreds of teams there are? There are those guys. We kicked 66-0. I mean, they're on there. But from middle of the pack to those 8 or 10 teams that will get in the playoffs, that gap is enormous. Am I lying? It's huge.
No, and there are several teams like us in the Big Ten, and this is one of the criticisms they had when they formed this big, what is it, 18 now or Big 20, that you have some of these blue blood programs that are just going to continually take it. The Ohio States, the Penn States, now you got the Oregons, and there's no sign that is going to stop. Now, I read in the paper, they pointed out that, Phil Knight dumps a bunch of money into the Oregon program, so you get all this NIL money. I still don't buy into the fact that can be a determining factor. I'm sure it helps. Maybe it lands a couple of really good guys. Okay. I think Fleck's been doing all he can on recruiting, and I'm pretty excited about the guys he's got coming. But until you bust through that glass ceiling, whatever you want to call it, we're going to be this really good team that goes to a bowl game every year but doesn't get big recognition.
And it isn't just 1 or 2 guys either. This is what kills me. Their lines, offensive defense, are another 20 pounds heavier and bigger, and then everybody they're receiving. We're not 1 or 2 guys away. It's a program away from people saying, "Hey, I want to come here." Yeah. All right. I'm out of time, guys.
There is Indiana, Minnesota to do that. I believe there is. All right.
I got to go. I'm out of time. Appreciate you boys a ton. We'll catch you on Friday. Fair enough?
See ya.
John and Dan, the guys at the end of the bench on the Al Travis Show.
If it's your turn